to Yahweh and apostles of goodness. All praise to Yahweh, Hashem, 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 Kakadash. Okay. Shalom to the 1.2 Israel Zechariah.net, which shows the occult book of these Native Americans, so as bloodline was to repress together according to the book of Jeremiah 50:33, to whom so they belong to adoption, the glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, the service of God, and the promises according to the book of Romans chapter 9 verse 4. Ecclesiastes 10:7, I've seen servants upon houses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. KDB 16:11. Yes. Lesen 1. Luke 16:10. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much, and he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. Yeah, which I would say, life has a lot of experience to it, of course. Some things you will not learn without making the experience. But if you really have character, then you are really special about small things. You're really special about taking care of maybe unimportant things. Most people think about important things. Yeah, which of course, there's a lot of stuff that of course isn't going right the way it should be, but it might seem a light thing to some people to first and foremost serve the truth of the Bible, but that is actually in the end not a light thing, but the best thing somebody can do. It's considered small by this world, but guess what's small by this world? Wickedness is small, really. Wickedness is the smallest and the most easiest thing on this earth is to be wicked. Super easy. Okay, I don't have to have I don't have to have love. I don't have to have being. I don't have to be stable, mentally stable, right? Or physically stable, whatever this means. Because everybody has a different body weight, right? You can't say, but it doesn't matter anyway. Mentally stable first and foremost, of course. Okay, because everybody can just buy a gun or drive a transporter into a human mass. Okay, that kills people, but it's not proving that you're physically strong. Okay, check that Berlin incident out. It happened last week, or was it this week? I believe it was this week. Last week, of course, because today is Monday, so it was last week, of course. Right, so this week, last week. Yeah, okay, so first and foremost, of course, mentally strong. But yeah, that is something to understand, right? I believe. And despite the fact that a lot of people think that, life is just something you do, and you can't add good or bad to it. That's not right. You can add good or bad to your life. Doesn't mean that it's easy all the time and that you are absolutely blameless, without sin, fault, guilt, forefather sin. How, it doesn't matter how you call it. It just means you're limited, of course, to human possibilities, so to speak, right? Human possibilities. I call it like that. So if you show character, then that means that it's not always the surface that fits your interests. It's also the interesting righteous facts behind the surface. Yeah, Proverbs, second Proverbs 22:29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings, he shall not stand before mean men. Yeah, business can be everything. Everybody has different talents. So if you have Usain Bolt, for example, which I at one point in my life trained in the same hall where he trained, which is in Bavaria. Of course, he is really good at what he is doing. Okay, compared to other sports, he actually really has a real measurable talent, because there are a lot of sports where you have people that might not even be good, just in it because of a little bit luck and a good situation, or somebody paid to have them there. Doesn't matter and nobody knows, right? But these are sports that you can't fake, right? And guess what? If you have Usain Bolt running, then you have to prove that you're running faster. Just that and nothing else. That's why I always used to say, if somebody asks me about the Olympic Games, I always have to say that I don't watch shit like that. Sorry. Okay. First you do, for me, when it goes according to me, then you first have competition with sports that you can't fake, and then after that you have a less relevant competition with sports that depend on certain outer influences, right? Even that is not easy, because you would say, like, you have people taking certain drugs before doing sports, so nothing is really safe. Nothing is really safe. Okay, that is a world that is that always is. It was the world. Nothing is safe. Okay, you will always have somebody who was using who was doping himself or something, right? Who knows? Or with the biking, you have the electric bikes, right? Or the bikes in general, and not electric sucker. The bike competitions, right? Then you have always people who hide some electric motor in their bike, right? You have some people having an electric motor uh, in their bike somewhere without you seeing it, right? That is stuff that you can do today, of course. 10 years back, you wouldn't be able to do something like that. Okay. Is it still funny to ride the bike competition? Yes, but you know, but it's not something you can't fake, right? So it depends also what it is. When it comes to me, for example, when it's about education, right? Education, for example, you register yourself somewhere, right? You successfully member, right? And then, for example, yeah, like if, for example, I watch chili pepper contests sometimes because I think it's funny to watch people eating so much chili without basically dying in the same moment. That is interesting, and I like to watch that because of entertainment, not because I really think it's possible as a normal human being. They have to have something in their body, which is science if you don't know. Okay, that makes them not having too much pain when they eat something like that. Which I also have it, but not in uh, that big uh, in that big way, right? Imagine you have ghost peppers with over I don't know how much million, 5 million, 10 million Scoville, and they eat that like bread, right? That's not, trust me, I eat chili every day, and I eat more chili than most people would that you know eat maybe, right? But this is not human. This is not human. So I can explain it just one way because they don't have superpowers. Yeah, they have, but it's more like a medical situation that they have with their body. It's not really a, what is it called, a magic trick. Okay, that is the world, right? The world thinks, ah, these people have a Guinness World Record because they eat the best chili. But guess what? The best chili, the best chili, the best chili eater, um, he might also have a little bit different body than you. Okay, different mouth function, different brain function. That goes all hand in hand. Especially your body. Your body, long before you know that you are poisoned with your brain, your body knows that you are poisoned, and that's why you threw up, for example. Right? I did that yesterday. I threw up yesterday, and my brain wasn't responsible for it. It was my body who told me spit that shit out, right? But yeah, seest thou a man diligent in his business? Can. Okay, so your business can be even having a Guinness World Record, right? But yeah, again, this is not something you can fake. Okay, you can't fake eating ghost peppers or Carolina Reaper peppers like that. Okay, crazy. Dirt Colossians, Slacker, not Dirt Colossians. I mean Slacker. I meant Proverbs 22:29, not second Proverbs. And I mean Colossians 3:23. And whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto man. Yeah, and I think it's more about yeah, how you are able to do it, okay, than you just doing it, okay. So that makes every brother in his style special, of course. But you have people that just won't accept won't accept right? That different people have different talents. Yeah, so don't do your best because people watching, right? Shalom.